I'm sorry, guys. Apparently, there was something went wrong and the connection went down. You can't, or yes? Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Apparently, something went down and the connection went down. I will just start this chapter again. I was just starting by explaining how do you set up your Playtron. So first of all, you have your Playtron, and you connect the USB cable in the side of the Playtron, and the other side you connect to the host device. So your host device can be your computer, your smartphone, a tablet, anything that Playtron is able to communicate. That basically nowadays a lot of different types of music devices, even some synthesizers, you can connect it directly. And then you start by placing crocodiles on the notes that you want to use or to play. This little tip here, this is really useful if you don't want to play wrong notes. Imagine you just have a song in C, just to simplify, and you don't want to play wrong notes, so you just put the notes of the C scale. The same for D major, wherever. You need to make sure when you put the crocodile cables that you also connect the ground. So as I said before, the ground is in these corners of the device, here or here. It on both sides is just the convenience. If you do it, there will be nothing wrong. You'll not get the electric shock. Nothing bad will happen. You are actually more protected even. If that so yeah, you start by placing these two cables, and after, if you connect it to, I will do a little example here. I'll connect it to my phone, and I will open GarageBand. It's really simple. And I have already an instrument loaded here. I had some session before. And if everything is right, if I just play these two things, you should listen. Are you listening something? Yeah, okay. And now actually, if I connect another cable, just put a higher note. So I will put and kind of weirder note. So I connected it was not this, it was my hands now. I connected a D1 and a G sharp 1. So if I touch this cable, that could be in a water glass or something, if I just touch this cable, nothing happens because I'm not closing the circuit. So if I grab this cable now, if I actually touch both cables together, I play the note, and I can play. If you listen, I'm playing actually two different notes. This is like really simple setup, but shows how my skin is conductive. In an app like GarageBand and in your phone, try to manage all the cables now, you can actually really simply change the sound. I don't know, maybe Agua can come closer to me and you switch to the other camera, because it's hard to share the screen of my phone. Don't know if you are seeing it well. You can just come select here. This one, yeah. So you just select the instrument. And here you open it, but you can come here, sorry, you can come here, this little arrow, and you have here the last, you have three, the title of your song, the instrument, and here you have the particular synthesizer that I'm using. I can come here, and I have a huge list that I can just change. And now, supposedly my incredible instrument really Blade Runner type of sound. It was random. I didn't even see what I was like. And this is this simple. As you notice, I actually even connected it to the device. In this case, the, I connected it to my iPhone right now. So an open GarageBand, so nothing changed. For example, I can use different tabs. If I can close this one. Okay. I have here Minimoog or Model D. Is an app from Moog, is a replica of the famous synthesizer. And you already I can come to the app and change the presets. I was in a key preset. This is not really nice in smartphones. I'll put keys, yes. So supposedly I changed. Now I have a different sound. And we can go over. If you change to the other screen, you actually see my phone, and I'm just choosing different presets from this app. Let's choose the breathing organ. The name is cool. Yeah, so I think you get the idea. And this is the setup in a phone. On a computer is not harder than this. Just disconnect this one. On the computer, you just do your interface, as I explained before, by connecting the crocodiles, by the alligator clips, by connecting your USB cable to the computer. One here, I'm just setting some people. And then if you use Ableton Live, that we suggest you to, if you are a beginner, to start with it. You have a trial version for free. If I don't mistake, it's 30 days. And you have full access to Ableton. And you can mess around pretty much with a super easy and professional tool to make music. And simply when you connect your Ableton device, I would suggest you to now to really change to the other camera that appears as Zoom user. I'm sorry, Sasha. And in the preference of your Ableton Live, you have on the left of this window, you have a tab called Link MIDI. If you click here, you can see that, and you have your Playtron connected, you can see that it appears in this list. If something is wrong, the Playtron is not appearing on the list. So if you forgot to connect the USB cable, if hopefully not, but if something is broken in your device, this will not appear. So when you connect it, the trick here is that it will not by default, if you are a new user in Ableton and it's the first time that you are connecting Playtron, you will not immediately be able to play with it. So you need to come to this preference in the MIDI settings and just turn on this track, sync, and remote. I guess that track is enough. But if you turn them all on, there's no problem. And make sure that you do that in the input. There will be a Playtron appearing as input and another Playtron appearing as output. On the output, you don't really need to connect anything because the Playtron just inputs MIDI message. But in the input, you need to turn on all of this. And then you come to your session, and I'll just change this. If you don't have anything, like if you don't load an instrument or nothing like this, you will play and nothing will happen, obviously. You will not see any sound coming in. But actually, you can see if your computer is receiving the notes on the right top corner of your Ableton software, of the Ableton software. When it receives a MIDI note, even if it doesn't play, there's a little LED blinking every time that it receives a MIDI note. So then you can just go over some instruments, and Ableton brings a collection of really nice instruments. I would suggest you to start with something like, if you want to start it simple, I would suggest you to go to some mallet instruments, maybe. I think I have here instrument racks, and there are mallets. And this is cool, fun, and easy to understand what you are really playing. It's not like super complex sounds that you might not really understand the note that you are playing or so. When there's a bad connection, like for example, I'm closing bad the circuit. So this might be because I have my hands dry, or something is, my interface is not connecting well. This might trigger sometimes multiple notes. So just make sure that you have your hands, put cream or just wet them a bit. So this allows you to, right now I'm playing some marimba, but I can load a different instrument. And for example, let's say that we'll load some drums. And I can come here in the, you choose your instruments in Ableton. On the left of your screen, there are like, you have drums, you have a list with categories, and it says sounds, drums, instruments. Basically from drums and instruments, you can choose everything. Yeah. I hope that you were listening. I was just saying that on the left of your screen in Ableton, you have a window, a little window with categories, and there you find drums, instruments, audio effects. Basically, from drums and instruments, you can choose everything. Obviously, drums are drum sounds, and instruments, you can find something more like a piano, more like a marimba, some synthesizer. There's a huge list. So right now I will replace my marimba with some, let's maybe go to the classics and go to a 808 core kit. 808, for those who don't know. Yes. I would try to share my screen. I'm seeing some questions appearing on the chat. I'll just let you know that in the end, I will open the microphone for you and have a Q&A. Now I'm just trying to check if I can share the screen to make it easier. Maybe no. No. Can I do that? You should say hi to Sasha. I think now he's visible.
Share screen, Ableton, share.
Okay, so now it's easier for everyone. I've been using more Google Hangouts rather than Zoom. Anyway, I was talking about this side of the screen where you can choose your instruments. Just a little refresh. In preference, you come to preference, and you come to link MIDI, and your Playtron will appear here. For it to work, you'll need to have all these tracks sync and remote on, and that will allow your Playtron to work. And then you need to click in this little icon here. That is to arm the track. So if you don't do this, that specific instrument that you want to play will not know that you want to play it. So you need, I'm seeing Philip laughing a lot, that is cool. um, you need to arm the track. So right now I just loaded a classic 808. And for those who don't know, 808 was kind of a drum machine that shaped a lot this history of electronic based music, mainly hip hop styles and those more drumish type of music. And right now I have my 808 loaded. I have my track arm. So I just hold my ground pad on my interface. If you change to the other camera, you'll know what I'm talking about. And I have the beautiful 808 kick. Okay, this one is badly connected. And yeah, in this particular interface, we develop it to have this corner here a bit more dedicated to drums. But if I play here, it also plays. So you can load, now I loaded a drum sound. If you come back to my screen, I can come to instruments again, and I have, if I come here, I have some analog instruments. Let's play. I wanted some more pads, maybe. Okay, let's go to this one. And now I have a totally different type of sound. As you can see, we are listening. We use the little trick of attaching the alligator clips in notes from the same scale. So I basically never play anything wrong. This is really fun, especially for kids to, I don't know, if you are a parent who are a musician and want to jam with your kid who knows nothing about music, just grab your guitar and you play some chords and you set up your Playtron with the right notes according to the scale of the song that you are playing, and your kids will have a lot of fun and will feel that they are really good. So going, yeah, I already showed you some sounds. I might show you some other ones. Let's put the bass sound just to finish this section. Yeah, we have some drums as well prepared. Have a bass. We have one cool thing that you can do with Playtron is to use it with samples. So really fast to use samples, you just use these drum racks on Ableton. You load this drum rack and it comes empty, and then you just grab audio files from your computer and you drop them in the notes that you want to use to, you just connect it with the notes that you put on the alligator clips. I will not do this now. We already did some examples here. For example, just want to play one example. I would try to play something with my both hands. Okay, can start making some music with this. Does the in my voice? Okay. Yeah. I think we can go to the next topic of the next topic of our workshop. That is like, what should you do if nothing that I just did works for you? Like if you got stuck in the beginning and you connect your USB cable and it's simply not working. And by the way, a little refresh on the back we didn't show, but you also have online synths that instead of using Ableton, you can go through to synth.playtronica.com and there's a collection of synths that you will be able to play directly using Playtron. For that, you should just use Chrome as the browser where you load the website. And this is simply because Chrome has already built-in audio structure and synthesizers, so you can actually play instruments using Chrome, where other browsers don't have it. So if you get stuck in the beginning of this, that is like you connect your USB cable and your Playtron is not recognized in your computer, or you can't really play anything. First of all, double check the settings of your software, being no matter if the software is Ableton Live, if it's a web interface, if it's Logic, if it's GarageBand, there are always some settings. And a lot of times you need to activate somehow the MIDI controllers, the Playtron. So make sure to go to, normally this software has like a MIDI tab, if it's an app or if it's a software, there's MIDI. For example, in Model D, the app from Moog, there's a MIDI tab and you need to make sure that you have the input active. For the Playtron, it appears you have a list of devices. It appears Playtron there if it's the only device, the only MIDI device, and you need to check it. If it's not appearing, the Playtron, if it's not appearing in a list like this, you should first double check the USB. Check the USB cable. Try another cable. Even if you are trying with the cable provided in your package, sometimes maybe the cables are broken. So this helps us just troubleshooting. Of course, you get another cable, but it just helps us troubleshooting. If the cable doesn't work, try a different host device. So try to connect it to another computer. Try to connect it to another phone and check again if it works. If it works, if it appears in the list and is not, you are not being able to play it, check in your DAW or in your software if you have the track harmed. So this little thing that I did here by clicking this little surface. Just notice now that I was still sharing my screen. Try to check if the track is harmed. If yes, try to check. Don't forget that you need to close the circuit by holding the ground. Try to check if everything is okay with that. Make your hands, hydrate your hands, put some cream or water. So if you are a bit more advanced user, try to check a MIDI monitor. It basically there are some applications and some software that creates a log if it receives MIDI data. So it's like, it says if there was some MIDI getting in. You can even use, I believe that is midimonitor.com, if I'm not is taken, and you have this online, so you don't even need to install it, anything. And yeah, and basically that's it. I will open now the session to Q&A. I think, I don't know what is the best way to do this. Okay, so Sasha is telling me that he will read your questions from chat. You can just leave them there. There are quite few already. Just leave them there, and we'll try to answer the best that I can.
How much notes can they play at the same time?
So basically all. You can play, there are 16, you can have 16 notes in your Playtron, and you can actually play them all, as long as with one hand you are holding, or you are, some part of your body is touching the ground. Make sure also, just a little thing, that the software that you are using, if you want to play a lot of notes, is polyphonic, because if it's monophonic, it will just play one note.
Playtronica.com is not working, but this is especially for this day workshop.
Yes, so it should be working indeed. Play that.
Can you highlight what would be the advantage of using Playtronica as MIDI keyboard?
So Playtron is more fun. You create your own interface, and you arrange it the way that you want, with literally the materials that you want. You can play with water. You can actually set up just the notes that you want to play. So while in a keyboard you need to learn how to play it and learn scales and stuff like that, you can arrange the Playtron to never allow you to play a wrong note. So you are always in scale, and this is the advantage.
Do you recommend any free music software on Windows instead of Ableton?
Fruity Loops is not free. There's also Fruity Loops as well, software for Windows. I'm not sure if you are following the questions from Sasha. Some software for Windows as well, free. You have Fruity Loops that has as well a trial version. I believe that Cakewalk is a super advanced DAW with a free version as well. Bitwig, and there are a lot of plugins, little plugins for free as well.
I'm confused. How to connect objects? Do you have a clip attached to your body?
You need to have, so as I said earlier, this, you need to have one clip or your hand holding this corner, because this is what allows you to close the circuit, or this or the other, like these are the ground corners. So you need to have one of these parts touching your body, and then with another part of your body play the notes.
Can you play live loops from GarageBand application?
Yes, if you load these loops as a sample, or as long as you can input the MIDI notes, you can play it in GarageBand.
Do you know any software that I can use with it? No, sorry. I ordered the Touch Me, but I still didn't receive it. Sorry for this.
Yeah, sorry for that.
And do you know any software that I can use with it to control image instead of sound?
And as I said before, I'm a bit of a music geek. I don't want to go really far, but for example, Max MSP allows you to go extremely in detail and use both audio and video. Another softwares for video, I'm not sure. I'm not the video guy, so.
We will be doing a video sync soon as Playtronica.
Okay, I just learned that Playtronica will do a video synth really soon. So.
Thanks, Sasha, for the presentation. I have one question from Tonino. What is the best trick you found to be able to play with both hands and close the circuit?
Okay, yeah. So You can have a little, if you have a table interface, let's say, you can just have your resting hand have something conductive under it. So this is one trick. You have many others. You can play, for example, barefoot and put one aluminum foil in under your feet, and this you have both hands. You can just grab a ring and put one alligator cable in a ring and put in one of your fingers. It's really creative.
We have 9 minutes left, so we should go on with the questions.
Okay.
And there are no questions.
There are no more questions.
Are those synths downloadable as VST or for your DAW?
Yeah, you can use the synths on your DAW, or if you have any standalone synth, you can use it as well standalone.
Yeah, he's asking to add people to the meeting.
Okay, there are more. Actually, I'm not seeing. There's no one.
Is your Playtron on a stand?
Sorry?
Yes.
Our Playtron is on a stand that if you join the Facebook, if you have Facebook, you join Playtronica Friends, and there's the files there for the 3D files. If you want to print this stand.
Yeah, unfortunately, we will share the recording, but we might not record the first part.
Okay.
I mean, we might not save it, but
so
we'll do it again with TouchMe.
Yeah, we'll do this tutorial, this workshop again with TouchMe. We'll share the workshop again.
Set upon Ableton. Any tips for Logic?
Okay, in Logic is really similar with GarageBand. So load an instrument and start playing. It's the best tip.
Just don't use Logic. Any recommendation for iPad apps?
Yes, Model D, GarageBand, DRC is as well a really cool app. There's Koala, is really nice as well. Sample Tank. Yeah, Minimoog is Model D.
Will you provide the software too or not?
We have software in playtronic.com. You have a set of synthesizers that is down now, the website, but should be up in a few hours. You have a bunch of synthesizers that you can play, and for free.
So far, no questions, but usually people ask, is it dangerous or not?
Yeah, so a lot of people, this is a question from Sasha that is really interesting. A lot of people is afraid that Playtron is dangerous, and TouchMe as well, because as is a conductive device, they might get an electric shock. It's almost impossible that happens, and the electric current going into Playtron is so small that it's not even harmful. You will not get it. It's simple.
Okay, so is it harmful for plants? That's a good question.
If it's harmful
for plants,
I can tell you a personal experience. Be careful with the alligator clips in the leaves of the plants, because you will bite them and it will get broken.
As for
Yes.
cardiology.
There are these cardiology stickers that you can attach in one side of the alligator clip and put it there, and it's less harmful for the plants.
Yes, we'll make another session for TouchMe. I'm answering already. Meeting is going to shut down in 5 minutes.
Yes. Do you have more questions?
Where can we find the firmware update?
Okay, there are no firmware updates so far.
There would be new devices.
There will be new devices indeed, but Playtron, there's not really a lot to update, because since it's a MIDI controller and MIDI protocol exists since '83, so it's still working, so it's fine.
Because I found kind of issue on mine.
Yes.
contacting the Facebook
Yes.
friends group.
Yes, if you, yeah, actually that is the what should you do if everything goes wrong. In the last, if nothing works, just record a little video and send it to us in support@playtronica.com or share on Facebook group and in normal channels. And if you film a nice video, I mean, explaining your issue, we'll try to understand it and try to solve it or provide you a new device.
Tips for extending the length of alligator clips.
Connect two alligator clips to each other if you want to have it longer. Like I can give you an example. I have two alligator clips. I just do this, and now I have a bigger alligator clip.
Any wire can work as well.
Yes, or any other conductive wire.
Use on a water-based installation, Sasha.
It's not Sasha answering, but yes, you can use in a water-based installation as long as you drop your cables in water, you'll be able to use it.
Any way to close the circuit in any other way than your body, maybe a metal or something?
If you are playing with your body, you basically you need to close the circuit or with the same object that you are trying to play, being that object your body or being anything else.
Yeah. I think we should close and ask people to join the group, and we'll put the recording there.
Okay.
And we will announce the TouchMe workshop there.
So we are reaching the end of the workshop. If you have more doubts, feel free to reach out the normal channels, the Facebook group. Make sure that you are in Playtronica Friends group. And we will announce as well there soon the same version of this workshop, but for TouchMe. So just stay tuned there. There are some other questions. I think we have a bit to answer them.
I wonder if you can make a wind chime with this.
Wind chime, what is?
It's wind bells, Chinese wind bells.
You can. Actually, I want to make, to set a bunch of triangles and just connect alligator clips and play both the triangle and the chimes.
Installation with triangles from Israel they send us.
Okay,
But it's
that's,
not like this, it's with touching.
yeah, that's cool. Okay, guys, I think we are finishing. So thanks for joining. We have Sasha and Aguaya here in the
Ciao.
bye. Thank you a lot. Anything? Just next. Bye. Thanks.